which we are conducting on behalf of Aurelius Corporate Solutions Private Limited. It's an 8-week course that we are going to go through, and basically we will try to cover different aspects of SAP HANA, and there will be demos to the system as well. We will try to cover the theory part of it. We'll try to cover the architecture part of it, and we'll also give you chance to do the hands-on sessions. Today's agenda-wise, today is the day one of the training. Today's agenda-wise, a brief introduction about myself, a brief introduction about yourself. So I would like to know a little bit about your skill sets as well. So that, why? Because I can customize the training accordingly. If there are any special needs, if you want to know certain topics in detail, I can cover that as well. So I can give right justice to your expectations. In terms of training ground rules, I'll explain what we are expecting so that it becomes fruitful in 2 hours.
Not achieve, maybe which can be achieved better in HANA, not in ECC.
Okay. So answer to your question, actually, what used to happen was previously, if you see a typical ERP implementation, we have got 2 types of basically the data set. ERP is primarily OLTP, which is transactional processing. So, any ERP system is the primary use of that is transaction processing. You take any example, let's say sales and distribution. Basically, your sales orders are created and they get reside in the SD tables. And then on that sales orders, basically you create an ABAP report. And then that gives an information in terms of what sales orders are there, basically open sales order, closed sales orders, process sales orders, or any lag in those sort of sales orders. What you said is right in terms of basically taking out the reports out of the OLTP system. But that was not the case actually. What a typical ERP implementation, what happens is that you have got your OLTP system and then you have got OLAP system on that. Your OLAP system, which is analytical processing system, is your any system. It can be a BW system, or if the client goes for non-SAP system, then it can be a Oracle system or any other system. So what used to happen previously is that all your transactions or transactional data used to get loaded into your analytical system, which is BW system, and most of your reports used to be taken out of your basically reports would be taken out of your OLAP system. So that's where the delay in terms of real-time reporting used to happen, because as some of you are from maybe BW background, know that generally what happens is that there is a day's lag when you load data from your transactional system into your analytical system. It's an overnight batch which used to load data from your transactional system. That is a lag in terms of availability of real-time data. Now, you also said that basically you can create a report directly on your ECC tables and make it available to users. But that's in terms of your basically transactional sort of reporting. When you go one step ahead, you want to do little bit of historical reporting. Let's say you want to have a report which is for last 6 months. You probably would struggle in terms of your OLTP report, because all OLTP systems are not meant to do reporting. They are primarily meant to do transaction processing. And your separate systems, which is your OLAP systems, are meant to do reporting. And that's where your BW comes into picture, and you basically reside that data, you basically stage that data, and you build up a proper data warehouse for doing 6 monthly reporting. And then you basically extract that data and make it available to the users. Because there is a difference between your OLTP system and your OLAP system. Your OLAP systems are meant for faster reads and make that data available immediately. Do you understand where I'm trying to head? So when I come to the real-time report, actually, what it is that previously to have this real-time reporting out of your OLAP system was not possible, especially on massive amount of data using the real-time concept. Because to have massive amount of data is possible in your OLAP, and to have the real-time report, it is possible from OLTP system. Now, both of these concepts are clubbed together because your OLTP system or your ECC system, I'm sure it will struggle if I ask you to take out all the open sales orders for last 1 year. It would run for number of hours. It would definitely run for approximately 9 to 10 hours, depending on whether you have done parallelization and all those sort of things. That's where your OLTP systems were struggling. And that challenge SAP or all these ERP vendors have tried to overcome, and they have tried to address this through the real-time reporting. Now, where they have made this particular change is, as you probably know, that there is a different database concept in terms of row-based storage compared to column-based storage. If you go to the OLAP systems,
Right.
there was an engine called BWA. There is an engine basically which is BW Accelerator. It stores data into columnar fashion. That's because it can read data very effectively and very fast. Now that concept of columnar data storage has been brought into in-memory computing, and that's where your whole reporting has become effective. Did I answer your question, Prashant?
Yes, Jaydeep. Now I think I can compare because I have heard that FIFA has implemented HANA. I can compare the real time they are giving us a graphs and all that based on the current player actions. So I can compare. Now I'm good.
Thanks, Prashant. So mainly, if I can summarize that, what I've just now said is that processing of massive amount of data, basically maybe 1 year's data, you can process very effectively through your in-memory, and the advantage is that it's real time. So you don't need to wait for that data to be loaded into another system, and that another system crunch that data and make it available to users. So that's where that lag has been taken away. Um, People have also started thinking that do we really need BW or any reporting engine going forward? But that's a separate discussion altogether. I'll try to cover that when we will cover the hot topics of BW on HANA. So what I was covering was in-memory computing, hardware technology innovations, and SAP software technology innovations combined together has basically churned out this particular new application of SAP, which is SAP HANA. The elements of in-memory computing are not new, however, dramatically improved the hardware economics and technology innovation, and that is made possible SAP to deliver its new real-time enterprise and in-memory business application. So again, you guys are probably aware in terms of what technology innovations have happened. Like previously, the data used to get stored in row format. Now there are ways of storing that data in column format. Lots of compression techniques have evolved. Actually, partitioning has happened, so you can store data in different partitions and only hit that partition where the data is required. No aggregate tables are needed going forward. Basically, real time, you can capture data. Uh, Again, inserting data only based on any changes in terms of that data. So not bringing the whole full load, but only bring the changes. So all these things made SAP think that why can't we basically bring the whole data into in-memory and make it available to the users. Again, on left-hand side, hardware technology innovations like, multi-core architecture, like 8 times 8 core CPU per blade is now available. HP is manufacturing that. Massive parallel scaling with many blades, 64-bit address space, 2 terabytes in current servers. And I don't need to cover all these things. Just the message is that hardware-wise as well as software-wise, a lot of things have improved, and that has basically given birth to this in-memory. computing. SAP's in-memory product strategy-wise, where SAP had been heading is that in Q4 2010, actually, SAP introduced the SAP HANA Appliance version 1. That was the first in-memory offering what SAP was giving to the clients in terms of their in-memory products. So that was the HANA 1 real-time operational analytics with HANA. And then they progressed from that till 2015 actually. So we have got now HANA 2 on support pack 9, where HANA has headed to. And then through various steps actually they provided few added benefits to basically HANA. So basically in the second stage they completely enabled SAP BW running on SAP HANA. So that was one of the first application which started running on SAP HANA independently, and users started getting benefit out of it. Then the finance applications on SAP HANA also, Simple Finance, which is another application which enabled users to start using that. And going forward, what SAP is saying is that it should be a one store for data and analytics. And basically, all your applications should have the SAP HANA database, and they should run on the common database, and make the business benefits out of it. So basically, this particular few 3-4 slides going forward would help you understand that why in memory was required. So this is what I was explaining. In any complex customer scenario, what ideally you have is basically you have got various ERP systems. Along with that, parallelly, you could have a non-SAP system for their particular maybe some data which is not stored in SAP, some data is coming from non-SAP applications. Ultimately, they have got their own local BI. So you have got data marts, or you have got certain tool sets which can help take out the reports or take out the data and then do some sort of reporting. This is your transactional reporting side of it, where you have got maybe the reports out of ABAP, or some of the other third-party tool sets where you can extract data and make it presentable to the clients. Then on the right-hand side, if it is SAP implementation and if they wanted any sort of historical or analytical reporting, then you have got your BW, your database, and then you have got BWA, which is accelerator. This is an ideal situation basically where most of the clients try to separate your transactional reporting from your analytical reporting. If your BW is extracting data from all the sources, then you can have a corporate BI where you can have a single version of truth of that data, and then basically all the senior managers can make a constructive decision based on that common data. So this is a classic EDW, Enterprise Data Warehouse. Okay. Going forward, what SAP suggested short-term wise is that your transaction wise, the databases which were supporting all the different ERP applications and non-SAP applications, to convert their database, whatever database, it could be MySQL or it could be Oracle 10G or 11G, to convert that into HANA database. Then remaining the EDW, Enterprise Data Warehouse, on the existing database, but have a HANA database between your corporate BI and your EDW. So what SAP basically gave options to the clients that don't go for a big bang sort of thing. You first try to see how effectively in terms of your existing landscape you can change the database, because as some of you have already worked on HANA, it's basically the database migration project. So when someone wants to go onto HANA platform, they need to migrate their existing database it could be 10G, or it could be MySQL, or any other database onto the HANA database. So it's a database migration and transformation project which someone has to go through. So they say that if you have got existing database, do it stepwise. So do maybe for first ERP system, second ERP system, and basically also for your corporate side of it. So that's what SAP HANA Appliance 1 was offering. So that's where I was explaining in terms of the left-hand side, Q4 2010 renovation SAP HANA Appliance 1. This is what SAP's offering was. Then midterm offering wise, what SAP suggested is that not only your OLTP systems, but your BW application also can go on HANA. So they said that basically we will provide the functionalities where your BW application can be migrated onto HANA database, and different additional functionalities we can make them available. So as some of you have got experience on BW and HANA, where SAP introduced in version 7.4 lots of new objects which were BW specific objects, like previously, few of you might not know, but there are objects like multi-provider, info cubes, DSOs, and SAP introduced a parallel new objects like advanced DSOs, basically, uh, they also introduce OpenODS views. All these new objects enabled interoperability between BW and HANA, so that what SAP is offering was that there could be substantial investment which has gone in building your analytical engine, and there could be lots of business rules which have been